Good people, we are getting ready to get started and enjoy this Tennessee Titans victory as the Tennessee Titans, as you see on the graphic, get it done in a very major way, finding a way to defeat the supposedly unstoppable LA Rams 28-16. And to be honest, it wasn't even that close. Man, it was such a beautiful day. It's a beautiful game, a beautiful day, and we're going to talk about it. And we're going to talk about it right here and coming up in less than 30 seconds, right here on Titans and Truth. Good evening, Titan Nation. How is everybody? Good evening, Titan Nation. How is everybody doing? Welcome in to TNT POSTGAME. I am your host, Chris, aka Blue Enforcer, and we are going to have a lot of fun here on this evening as the Tennessee Titans go out to Tinseltown, go out to Hollywood, and star in a feature film called Silence of the Rams. I kind of liked that when somebody came up with it. As the Tennessee Titans defeat the LA Rams 28-16, and they basically did this. They dominated in every facet. And so a perfect introduction to all other football fans, to national media who doubted us. Acknowledge the Tennessee Titans. Acknowledge the Tennessee Titans. Hold on, there's more. I'm not done. Acknowledge the Tennessee Titans. Acknowledge that they are the best team, not only in the AFC, but in the NFL. We are the head of the table. We are the top team. We did what many said couldn't be done. And boy, it feels good. A lot of people picked against us, and we found a way to get it done. Found a way out of no way. Josh said, "What's up? Tighten up." Kent Woods, "What's up? Good to see you as always." William Jones, 615-901. You bet. Said, "You heard me on 1025, man. I hope it was a good one. I had to celebrate this victory and celebrate the elementals that is the defensive line." Got Reggie B down there in H-Town. What's up with you, Stanley? This is our time. Yes, it is. And follow Reggie B. Smash that like button for me, y'all, if you don't mind. Shaolin says, flying in Friday. I will be riding up I will be riding up Sunday morning. Wasn't able to get my Sunday off from work, but the second the second that broadcast is done, I'm up I-40 East. I'm up I-40 East, and I will be at Nissan Stadium ready to roll. Warriors 2411 said, if they hate then, let them hate. Watch the money pile up. I know that's right. That is absolutely right. And I mean, this was by far probably the most impressive victory of the four that we had. Very much the most impressive victory. You got tighten up. Zach coming to what's up? Tighten up. Ms. Mims in here. It feels good. Yes, it does. It really does feel good on that. So the Titans defeat the Rams 28-16. They are 7-2 on the year. Number 1 in the AFC. Not just in the AFC South, but in the AFC. Zach Carter says, Vrabel, Coach of the Year. He should be in the conversation. I mean, this is the most impressive stretch of games that the Tennessee Titans have had. I mean, extremely impressive. I mean, we beat 4 teams in consecutive weeks. 4 teams in consecutive weeks. The Bills, the Chiefs, the Rams, the Colts. And we'll throw in there the Jags. 5 in a row that the Titans have won. And I was trying to pull up a stat, but was not able to find it. It was put out by Ed Warder, and of course, Teron Davenport also mentioned it. The Tennessee Titans have only become the 4th team in NFL history, I would probably say within the last 15 years, to not only to beat 4 teams in a row in consecutive weeks that was in the playoffs the year prior. And what happened with those teams? The other previous 3 went to the Super Bowl. 2 of them won. So the Titans are in very, very elite company. They are in a place that not too many people have been in. And this is a very impressive stretch of football that the Tennessee Titans have played. I mean, it is awesome what the Tennessee Titans have done. And it ain't over. Bo G, tighten up. What's up? Yep, last 4 games, all playoff teams. Did it. 2 of them at home, 2 on the road. All wins. Yep, Warriors and the young guys are coming through under elite leadership in all phases. That is so true. Yep, and just like I said, only the 4th time in NFL history in the last 15 years this has happened. The last 3 went to the Super Bowl. And Josh, that is absolutely right. You know, Jared on Stillman and company and others have discussed it. Before, when we were trying to play the Colts, we were just saying, look, try to win the AFC South. And last night's game was really playing with house money. We really had absolutely nothing to lose. And let me bring up the stats from last night's game. Big Jeff. Had to put him on the cover because he deserved it. Big Jeff, 3 sacks. Harold Landry had a half sack along with Autry, who had a 1.5 sacks. Forced, even though Matt Stafford threw for 294, was forced into 2 bad interceptions. One by Kevin Byard that was a pick 6 on his second throw. On the first throw, David Long Jr. Basically, Big Jeff had him in the end zone and Stafford tried to spin out of it and just whiffed it in the air, just praying it would go out of bounds or somebody would catch it, and he did, into the hands of one David Long Jr., who nearly took it back himself. So the defense spotted the offense 14 points out the gate. And it was beautiful. Tannehill didn't have his best game. 19 of 27, 143. He had a touchdown, a terrible interception on the first drive, but it only resulted in 3 points. But he also had a rushing touchdown. The run game, it still has work to do. Adrian Peterson, 10 carries, 21 yards. He did have a touchdown, but was only around 2.7 yards a carry. Deontay Foreman, I thought, ran the best. 5 carries for 29 yards. And McNichols, 7 carries for 24 yards. AJ had 5 catches, 42 yards, but on 11 targets, left a lot to be desired. I think Jalen Ramsey was clearly in his head. And, you know, and he's got to be able to keep his cool, especially against the better corners. Now, Julio caught all of his targets, 4 for 35 on 4 targets. I wish they would throw him the ball a little bit more. And then Jeff Swaim had the touchdown. But, you know, the offense has a lot of work to do. And I think now that this game is behind us, this next stretch of games would be a good time for the Titans offense to kind of get in sync again. You know, Tannehill and Peterson to get Peterson in sync with this offense. Work on getting that chemistry with Julio. Make sure that him and AJ's chemistry is tight. So, you know, the offense has got to learn to function and win without the king. And that's something and Todd Downing has to do a good job of calling plays as well, putting his guys in the best position to succeed. So the offense does have some work to do. But the Tennessee Titans are in an excellent situation in order to do that. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But, and before we do that, like I said, Tannehill got through the game. You know, Adrian Peterson, nostalgic, had that rushing touchdown, his 125th of his career, tying the late, great Sweetness, Walter Payton. And it was good to see Julio make some catches, but we didn't throw him the ball a whole lot more than we do. But up front, the offensive line, the right side, not too bad. I mean, Quesenberry, he did all right, and so did Aaron Brewer in place of Nate Davis. But Saffold and Bobby Hart, who started in place of Taylor Lewan, I guess Lewan had some type of knee issue that he was dealing with. He suited up, but was for emergency use only. Aaron Donald did a great job. I mean, Aaron Donald was basically unblockable and caused some havoc, but we got through it. You know, they sacked Tannehill about 2 or 3 times, not what you want. The left side, you know, the offensive line, has to get their act together. And I don't know if they're going to. But they're going to have to do a lot better than what they're doing if this Titan team is going to be successful, especially in the playoffs, when you're going to go up against really good defensive lines. So the offensive line's got to get it together. But let's go to the other side of the ball. The defense. Baby! The defense? Woo, that defense played one hell of a game. I tweeted this out and said it. That was probably the best defensive performance I have seen in over 5 years, at least. That was an incredible performance by the defense. Josh says coach of the year should be front runner. Kingsbury, definitely. I agree. Reggie B said that he started having faith in Foreman. Let him eat. I agree. Foreman needs to run more. Josh says the physicality of our D-line completely punched the Rams in the face. You ain't lying. And that's exactly where we're going to start. Zach saying Big Jeff brought a tear to my eye. I mean, look, the way the defense was playing, I wanted to cry in happiness and how so damn proud I was of that defense. I was very proud of the defense the way they played last night. Again, I'm not taking away, they caused some turnovers against Indy. They did that against Buffalo, stopped them on 4th down. The Chiefs game was excellent, but this one was the best so far. I mean, an absolutely outstanding performance by this defense. And it started up front. Jamie said, yeah, Stafford Winston sure did. Looked like in the Super Bowl. Yep. And Zach calling the front four the four horsemen. I call them the elementals because I read an article in Titans Wire, and that was what they was calling them. The elementals. The four main elements in the world. Your four big elements. Air, fire, water, earth. Earth. Big Jeff holds it down, holds his ground, and was a game wrecker with those 3 sacks. Water, splashing everything down. Danico Autry. I mean, a crisp water. Crisp and steady. I mean, definitely the most underrated signing we've had in quite a few years, and it was incredible. Him and Jeffrey Simmons together is incredible. Amazing. Then you bring in the fire with Bud Dupree. And Bud Dupree does a lot of things that maybe doesn't show up on the stat sheet, like that 4th down that Stafford threw it incomplete, and it looked like Bud Dupree took him down, and he was kind of slow to get up. Stafford was. He brought that fire. And then the air. The whoosh. Just like in the blink. Like the wind. Harold Landry coming around that edge. The elementals. The 4 horsemen. That play was identical to the pick 6 in Indy. Yeah, it was. And a lot of people, and we'll talk about that also with Jalen Ramsey. I like that. Warriors 24-11 says the return of the king will be the storyline come playoffs. AP all day, ferocious Foreman, and Magic McNichols will hold it down until then. Yes. Now, Ms. Mims, again, one of the most optimistic people on this planet. We'll look at everything glass half full. Say Adrian Peterson did an amazing job so far. Remember on the show Wednesday night I said Titans need to get together, win 7-2, not 6-3. Yes, you did say it. I mean, Adrian Peterson did okay. I mean, I think he was still trying to get his feet under him, and I think he was getting his feet wet a little bit. He still got to get used to this. So it wasn't a great performance, but I think it's going to get better as time goes on. And I think a lot of people think Foreman was clearly the best. And I would agree. And I think they will do some unleashing later on. Yes. Titans destroyed the Rams. Sure did. A lot of people say, yeah, Titans don't have a defense. Yeah. I mean, it's incredible what has transpired. Absolutely incredible what that defense did. And I haven't even gotten to the rest of the defense. David Long, that boy is a stud. A stud. Excuse me. That 2019 draft class is paying off big time. Incredible. And they are definitely growing to possibly being elite. They're not there yet, but they're coming. Jeffrey Simmons did eat Matt Stafford alive. Sure did. And I honestly think if Derrick Henry was in there, I think we win by way more. Valtoria, 3-sack day was the first time since Kyle Vanden Bosch. And that's what the defense, we had beast. Yeah. And I agree, Reggie B. Nashville nasty. That's exactly what this team is. And I'm going to go back and watch the game too. Dad, Steve, you had to bring the bad news. Booger, Jerome Boger, the Booger Man, is going to be reffing this game. So we know the officiating is going to suck. Again. So we're going to have to play despite the refs. JT says, I can't believe Bowen was able to pull this off. This type of defense, especially since he's making a guy like Chris Jones may have been playing good and making Jayon fit like a glove with him gone. I agree. I kind of got to give an apology to Shane Bowen at least right now. The defense has steadily gotten better each and every week. And it's doing a good job. I agree with that. Now, Shane Bowen's calling the plays, but I think Jim Schwartz has something to do with it. And Josh, you're right. Tannehill has got to stop with the picks, with the interceptions. And they're dumb ones, too. And the Titans are favored. I don't know by how much, but they are favored, opening as a favorite. So, we got work to do. But, again, David Long is a stud. Jayon, I'm glad to have him back. Kevin Byard. As I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The mayor of Murfreesboro is back with a vengeance. And he is having an absolutely outstanding season. 5 interceptions. Has been involved in 7 turnovers and 2 defensive touchdowns. Kevin Byard will be in the Pro Bowl, and if he's not, whoever picked all the players and whoever picked the Pro Bowl, they all need to be drug tested. Because somebody would be stupid to not have Kevin Byard in the Pro Bowl. And he should be in line for All-Pro. And like Zach said and others have said it, Kevin Byard should definitely be in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation. And I would say along with Harold Landry too. should be in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation. Because Kevin Byard's playing out of his mind. Amani Hooker made a very, very key tackle on a third down that forced that fourth down. Textbook. And was excellent. Another guy I was extremely impressed with, Chris Jackson. He played his tail off last night. And, holding it down until Christian Fulton comes back. I mean, held it down. So, Chris Jackson was amazing. Did a great job. And Janoris, I didn't have to call his name. Wasn't stupid. Now, he slipped up on one play. But other than that, not too bad. And Zach, yeah. We tackled extremely well last night. Tackling was excellent. And I agree. The refs ain't going to stop us from getting a W. Ricky Jenkins saying, we getting that number 1 seed. Jamie said, where's Dean Pease now? Still in Atlanta. But yes, defense, extremely well. Extremely well. Josh saying, we get Fulton back? Sheesh. I know, right? So, I mean, a all-out impressive performance, especially on defense. Very proud of them. Extremely proud of them for what they did. Incredible performance by this defense. And you know what the most beautiful thing of all of this was? We go out to Hollywood under the bright lights and shock the world. Now again, AJ needs to stop with the drops. Tannehill needs to stop with the picks. And I will say the refereeing was all right. Even though a lot of things did go our way, that Aaron Donald penalty, I ain't gonna lie, even though it worked in our favor, that Aaron Donald roughing the passer penalty shouldn't have happened. Because that was not roughing the passer. The other one was. None of us can say, oh, that was roughing the passer. When, Aaron Donald basically already off his feet was just making sure Tannehill was out of bounds. What else could he have done? And that is a good question. I have not heard anything as far as David Long. So right now, I haven't heard anything. If I get any news on David Long, I will let y'all know on Wednesday. And Shane Wright, we didn't even have 200 yards of offense, scored 28 points. Now, defense basically gave 14, and then we got in the end zone the other 2 times. Josh said, I think our priority should be securing the division, which feels like we've already have, but got to get the number 1 seed. Agreed. But the most beautiful thing, 2 things. 1, we go out to Hollywood under the bright lights of Sunday night. The entire world is focused on the Titans and the Rams. We got the whole world watching us. Let's see, David is just sore from what I told. Yeah, I think quite a few guys are sore. Chester Rogers took a vicious shot when he was trying to catch a pass over the middle. And honestly, that definitely would not have made a penalty. That linebacker did exactly what you are taught to do. If a receiver comes across the middle, you light that receiver up. That is exactly, Reader, the linebacker for the Rams, that was textbook. That was textbook. So we go out to LA in front of the world. Everybody's watching. And that Titan defense put that type of performance together. It was amazing. Where all of the naysayers, all of those national pundits, so-called experts, all of them picked against us. All of them. On NFL Network, on the game day, they all picked the Rams. James Jones, Michael Robinson, all picked the Rams. On ESPN, they all picked the Rams. I think only maybe 2 or 3 people, Kyle Brandt on Good Morning Football, he basically said, look, Adrian Peterson is going to put on a performance and the Titans are his upset special. He called it. Mike Tirico picked us too. But I want y'all to listen to one thing that basically, and Jamie alluded to it. Watch this.
Right here. I said something right here.
What y'all say, Playmaker?
Well, why don't we check out what we said? Why don't we check out what
Tennessee Titans season's over. Let's call it what it is. This is their running game. Who the hell you gonna have running the ball now? Averaging 4.3 yards a carry, top 5 rusher, top 4 running attack in the National Football League, and he goes down. It is over. The Tennessee Titans, their season, as far as I'm concerned, is finished.
So strong.
You brought receipts.
That's so strong, boy. So strong. I love it because when he looks.
Now, that was Stephen A. Smith on First Take, November 1st, with the news that Derrick Henry went down. He said it was over. Now, if y'all go back and continue watching that clip, here come Michael Irvin basically ridiculing him, saying, yeah, you said they were done. You said it was over. You said it was over. And Michael Irvin, I wish I was on that set. Because I would have said, hold up, Playmaker. How you can't say nothing? You can't talk? You were sitting right there saying the exact same thing too. You said we were done too. And then Stephen A. basically was trying to renege, and he was trying to back away and say, nah, that wasn't what I said. I wasn't saying it like that. And, he was like, it's like I got vaccinated. I got cleansed. That didn't exist. I didn't say that. I changed up. But nah, evidence is right there. Evidence is right there. So Playmaker can't really say nothing either. Michael Irvin said the exact same thing. Shannon Sharp, Skip Bayless, all of them said we were done. That we had no chance without Derrick Henry. Said we had no shot whatsoever. And I wish, I gotta see I'm trying to see if I wish there was a good compilation where everybody said it. But I don't know if I'll be able to pull that up. But yeah, a lot of them said it. We were done. It's over. said we had no chance without Derrick Henry. That Derrick Henry was the Tennessee Titans, and without Derrick Henry, we didn't stand a chance. Which makes me ask the question, Stephen A., all y'all national pundits, shut up. What the heck do y'all know? Nothing. And that was the theme of all of Sunday. Like, just when you think you know what's going on, you don't. Bills going down to Jacksonville. 14-point favorites got beat and didn't even score a touchdown. There was no touchdown scored in that game. 9-6, Jags beat the Bills. The Cincinnati Bengals was everybody's darling a couple of weeks ago. Number one team in the AFC. Looked like they were going to do something special. They done fell back to earth. The Raiders lose to the Giants and all the turmoil that's going on with them, with Gruden being out and then the Ruggs situation. And then another cornerback gets released after posting a video having guns in the video talking about, giving death threats. The Chargers kind of fell back to earth, but they got a win. Buffalo falls down a little bit. Now, Baltimore won, which I wish they had lost too. But national media got exposed. They got exposed. Shaolin says, Adam Stank predicted us to win again. I don't know why Adam Stank is picking us to win a lot, but he's trying to make himself look like a genius, and unfortunately, he's been right. That we turned Stafford into wins. Yeah, we did. Exactly. Stephen A. and Michael said we were done. Joseph said it might have been a glimpse of Super Bowl 56. And I will say, if I could find me a ticket to the Super Bowl, I might just go. And Zach got me on Playmaker. Exactly. We exposed the whole First Take crew. First Take, First Things Last, Undisputed. We made them all look bad. Now, mostly what all of them did was talk about, well, what's wrong with the Rams, and it was Matt Stafford's fault and stuff like that. They basically made excuses for the Rams. We've seen that every week. When we beat Buffalo, Josh Allen slipped. When we beat Kansas City, what's wrong with Patrick Mahomes? That defense is terrible. What's wrong with the Chiefs? Beat the Colts. Oh, Carson Wentz was being reckless. Had no business throwing those 2 interceptions. Rams. Matt Stafford, he ain't MVP material. He has a losing record against winning teams. I mean, just with the excuses. What's up, Jay? Yep, we went to Hollywood showing them who the real stars were. Josh like, yep, we're nothing without Henry. Even after a win, I saw one article that said the Ravens should be the team to beat. Titans don't have Henry. Still non-believers out there. Happy birthday to Rashawn. Although he ain't going to get his job back. And Jamie, defense look like they figured it out. Bruce James Realty, what's up? Y'all check him out. They don't watch the games. You have to tune in to Nashville's finest. Show got that right. Josh Allen turned the clock back. He was playing offense and defense. That's true. Josh Allen sacked Josh Allen. Josh Allen picked off by Josh Allen. Josh Allen beat Josh Allen. The winner was the Jags, Josh Allen. That was something. And hey, Chandra, what's up, girl? Said, I'm going Super Bowl bound. If it goes like this, I may have to scrape some money together, find a flight, and get to LA too. So, I mean, it's beautiful. Story last season was Brady Mahomes, GOAT versus the future. This season, the only storyline will be all the drama going on will be the return of the king. Got that right. I hope that's our first trip to LA. I hoped that's our first trip to LA this season. Yeah, that was our first trip. Hopefully that ain't our last trip. The more respect we don't get, the better. That's true. Bryce at the Power Hour. Yep, I was on the Power Hour earlier tonight. So I was there on the show earlier tonight with Mike Bishop. That was a great show. Y'all make sure y'all check him out. JT said, I was waiting on Rams fans to say they didn't have Vaughn. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered if they had Vaughn or not. It goes back to Dupree, Autry, Quintorris with Janoris, and Quintorris, Julio. Media was not on board with our moves. True. But we made it happen. We did what we had to do. And I mean, they're still not going to give us our respect. Special teams played well. That much is true. Bullock ain't missing, and Kern pinned them deep. So it was just a beautiful game. Beautiful game. And, you know, last night was extremely special, being from Indigo Night Bar. I know some people were like, was I at a strip club? No, I was not. I was at a bar with a lot of great Titan fans, and we had a ball, and we did it in dedication to one of our fallen Titan divas, Miss Terrian Flowers, who unfortunately passed away earlier last week. And like I said, we love you. We're going to miss her. Titan Queen for life. She will definitely be missed. This could be a rematch of the Super Bowl, and, you know, we put it to them. John said, right after we want to turn the NFL Network ESPN, they're both discussing Chiefs and Packers. Obviously. Let's see, Sean said, going to the Texan game. I don't know. I doubt it, because I'm going to the Saints game. So I don't think I'm going to the Texan game, but I think I will be going to the Jags game. But yeah, whole world picked against us. Whole world got egg on their face right now. And they trying to find every excuse not to give us any respect. But you know what? Forget the respect. We don't need it. We don't need it. We're better off without it. Yeah, that could be a rematch between Cardinals and Titans. We better be ready. But this was fun. And had a great time, great party. And man, just so proud. 7-2. And let's discuss two more things before we get out of here. First off, Jalen Ramsey. You know, got called for 2 unsportsmanlike conducts. Yeah, he should have been ejected from the game. And they changed the call basically to keep him in. I mean, I don't know why. I thought that was messed up. He should have been ejected because he was kind of being dirty. And the other thing, before we get to that, Paulie D is right. 5 sacks. The Rams 4-15 on third down. It took the Rams 59.5 minutes to score a garbage time touchdown. That's true. 5 sacks. And the Titans now have 23 sacks. Remember, all of last year, the Titans had 19 sacks. All of last year. We have already surpassed that, and we ain't even halfway through the year yet. And third down defense has been a hell of a lot better. And a guy on NBC in the post game, he said it. I can't remember his name. He was standing there with Rodney Harrison, who is somewhat of a Titans hater. He said the Tennessee Titans are the most disrespected team in the NFL. I'm going to try to see if I can pull up the clip right quick. I'm trying to see. Give me a moment. Trying to see if I can find out. Blood. No, where is it? I know I saw it. Yeah, here it is. I'll have it playing in just a minute. But yeah, guy said, most disrespected team in the NFL. And one guy on CBS Sports did mention it.
But Rodney, we heard the guy
This is from
coaches.
NBC.
You heard Chris Collinsworth during the game say, this Titans team, the defense is playing with attitude. That starts with their head coach, Mike Vrabel. He's a former teammate of yours.
Here it is.
Stunned. I don't think they can believe it. They have been playing perfect football for so long, but for Tennessee, I just think it's about disrespect. I think this is one of the more disrespected teams in all of football. I think Vrabel is disrespected. I think Tannehill is disrespected.
Jeffrey Simmons?
Based on what was happening in Miami, Jeffrey Simmons is disrespected, and I think the Tennessee Titans are disrespected, just given this is some team out there in Tennessee, and everybody overlooks them. They play hard, defensive, physical football, and they look like a team that's going to be around for the long haul.
Yeah, now they're the top team in the AFC.
Exactly. Said it. The most disrespected team in the NFL. Hands down. And you know what? We don't need their respect. We're going to still continue to do what we do. For the front four. I said the elementals. Air, fire, earth, water. Elements work together. The four horsemen is another. The defense should be known simply as either Nashville Nasty or Music City Mayhem. And I want y'all to put in the comments section, I may not be able to get to it yet, I want to say, nickname. Nashville Nasty or Music City Mayhem. And I'm going to put this out on Facebook and Twitter as well. And see what the consensus is going to say. Should we go with Nashville Nasty or Music City Mayhem? And we play off of disrespect. There we go. Sorry about that. But yeah, 23 sacks in 9 weeks, had 19 all of last year. Beautiful. The Smashville welcome. Love it. Music City Mayhem. Jay going Mayhem. Like I said, I'm going to put this out on Twitter and on Facebook and see what everybody thinks. But loving it. That number one seed, it looked like it wasn't going to happen before last night. After last night, that number one seed is in play. That number one seed is definitely in play. We have a shot. And if we get that number 1 seed, oh boy, we get some guys back healthy. We get the King back healthy. And then if we wrap up that number 1 seed, Christian Fulton's going to get healthy. Some other guys going to get healthy. Get that first round bye. Derrick Henry, the King, gets another week to get healthy. Maybe right before the end, maybe the Miami game, get maybe about 5 to maybe 15 carries. Get your feet wet. Houston game, if we got it wrapped up, he don't need to play. Then he takes a week off to get healed. Then they got to stop Tannehill. Then they got to stop the King. Then they got to stop AD. Then they got to stop Julio. Then they got to stop AJ. And they got to continue with that defense. Man, I don't know if anybody's going to be ready for us. But the way that, Buffalo lost, Raiders lost, Bengals lost. Some of these other teams are falling. And if you look at schedules of other teams like the Ravens and like Pittsburgh and like the Chargers, these teams, right now the Steelers in the fourth quarter are up 3. These other teams, the Steelers, the Ravens, Ravens, they still got to play 5 division games. 2 against the Browns, 2 against the Steelers, and 1 more against Cincinnati. They're going to lose probably 2 of those games. Again, the AFC North, they're going to beat each other up. The AFC West, they're going to beat each other up because they still, like the Chiefs, they still got to play the Chargers 1 more time. They got to play the Raiders twice. And they still got to play the Broncos. So all those teams are really tight at 5-4, 5-3. They're going to beat each other up. The Patriots are sneaking up on the Bills. They still got to play each other twice. And I don't think the Bills are going to sweep the Patriots. I think the Patriots are going to take one of those 2. And then you got us. Yeah, we still got to play the Jags 1 more time and the Texans twice. But are they really a threat? It is late night. This could be our year, y'all. This could be our year. Did it all last night with our number 1 corner, our number 1 left tackle, and Derrick Henry. My prediction, I'm going to say I don't expect us to run the gauntlet at 15-2. I think that's too much. That's overly ambitious. I think the high ceiling is 14-3. I think the floor and the absolute floor is 12-5. I think 13-4 is the most realistic record. 13-4. I know some people kind of want us to run the table 15-2. The Titans are going to have a hiccup somewhere, y'all. And that's just the truth. They're going to have a hiccup somewhere. Maybe not a bad hiccup, but it's going to be one that's going to happen. So the Titans are going to probably lose maybe 1, maybe 2 more games. Because they still got the Steelers, they still got the Patriots coming up. And those are teams fighting for playoff spots. So, got to think into that. And we can't overlook anybody because we don't deserve to do so. But man, that number 1 seed is definitely looking good for us. But y'all, I think that just about does it for tonight. So make sure y'all hit that like button. If you haven't gotten any TNT swag, definitely hit me up. If you want some shirts, and I can get with my girl, Miss Latoya, for getting shirts, definitely. Or you can reach her at Queen Butterfly Tees on Instagram or queenbutterflytees@gmail.com. If you want a hat like the one I'm wearing or the red hat in this graphic, hit me up as well. Or I could get with Out the Crib Customs, and that's at out_the_crib_customs. Or at outthecribcustoms.com if you want some TNT swag. But everybody, make sure y'all get your nominations in for the Two-Tone Blue Star of the Week and the Dunce of the Day. National media or even local media can also be included in the conversation. And I see a couple of y'all saying 15-2. Y'all, I'm being real with y'all. The Titans, I think, are going to either be 14-3 or 13-4, but I do not expect the Titans to run the gauntlet. Now, if they do run the gauntlet and get to 15-2, believe me, I will be ecstatic. And I will say I did not think it would happen, but they did. But I'm going to say 13-4 or 14-3. I think those are realistic. And Tighten Up is right. Yeah, we can beat any team. You're absolutely right. And John Locke, I think, will be resting players in the late games, so we could drop one of those unless we're playing for number one. True. If we ain't got the number one locked up, I say play on. But if we got number one locked up, yeah, rest some guys at the end. So we'll definitely see, y'all. But, and they do have that next man up mentality. So again, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in to Titans in Truth, TNT Postgame. Thank y'all for helping me get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm on my way to 2,000. I'm closing in on 1.1 thousand, 1,100. I'm closing in on that. So if you have not subscribed to the show, please do subscribe to the show. And of course, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Hit that like button if you haven't. And just remember, we got to tighten up, because that's all we know how to do. I bid thee a good night and tighten up. Thank you for the super chat before I get out of here. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. And y'all have a great night. Thank y'all and tighten up, because that's all we know how to do.